All right, so last class we were doing standard deviations, and we did those in Excel and we did those in SPSS, and I said I'd at least make a video of doing it in SPSS, but I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do the Excel too, because it's not that difficult for me. Here are your scores, and so to get that z-score, you're going to need two things. You're going to need the mean and you're going to need the standard deviation, and so click equals average. You just double click that average there. And then grab your numbers. So I'm left clicking, holding down, pulling down to get all the numbers. Hit enter, and then equals STD, and then we want to pick the one that's STDEV point or period S for we're doing a sample. Grab all those numbers again. There we go. So we got our mean, we got our standard deviation. We can now start getting those z-scores if you remember the formula. So equals that score minus the mean, which is E1. You want to put those in parentheses so that it does that operation first, and then you put divided by that standard deviation. So now that gives us the z-score for that first score, the 89. What we'd like to do is take that and drag it down, but if we drag it down, so like if we go to the 6th point here, it says AE minus E6 divided by E7. Those aren't legitimate numbers, and so one way what we can do is we want to change this number, the data point each time, but we want to keep the mean and the standard deviation as constants. And so how we do that is we put a $sign in front of the E and the 1, and then the E and the 2, and it will keep those two constant. And so now when we grab this and we slide it down, we'll get the z-scores for all those scores. And so like if you look here at the bottom, it's A20 minus that E1, E2, so because it kept it constant. That is Excel. For SPSS, I just copy this over. That is Control-C. And you go over here to SPSS, press Control-V. There's a whole bunch of different things you could do right off the bat, like you could change the variable's name, all that kind of stuff. For right now, we're not concerned about that. We're just trying to get those z-scores. And so you click Analyze. You scroll down to descriptive statistics. You go to descriptives, click that. Here's our variable 1. You move that over, so you would click it and then press this arrow to move it to this side. Again, you could do the options and all that, but right now all we're concerned about doing is making sure that we click this box that says save standardized values as variables, and that will give us those z-scores. Click that, click OK. Close this, go back to the data, and there it is. And so if you compare these z-scores to the ones in the Excel sheet, they're exactly the same. And so that's how you get the z-scores in Excel and SPSS.